Congratulations, you've made it to the deep dive. 12 degrees of Leo falls within the second decan, aka heart of Leo, which is ruled by the sun and sub-ruled by Jupiter, giving a strong Sagittarius sub-flavor to the energy, and a huge focus on wisdom and expansion. This energy will feel very familiar to anyone who has their sun sign or birthday falling between August 2nd and August 12th. It tends to bestow ambition, coupled with a prideful nature and a quick temper. Be very careful with Mars in Gemini and this new moon in the second decan of Leo. Remember to choose your battles and your words wisely. Air fuels fire. Leo is a fixed fire sign. Fixed because it tends to be very opinionated and dogmatic, or set in its opinions. It would benefit from a little bit more adaptability, which we can get with Mars and Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and Mercury, soon to be Venus in Virgo. Those are all mutable signs. The sun bestows warmth and light, providing life and vitality to all living things on Earth. The sun is in its sign of rulership in Leo, further strengthening the energy. Like the sun, Leo is larger than life, and it has a flair for the dramatic. Leo placements are common in the charts of leaders, entertainers, and performers, where a stage presence is necessary, especially personal placements in Leo. Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, even Jupiter, and Leo, or the sun rising, or Leo, or the sun in the 10th house, representing one's career and public reputation. Mercury in Leo can mean this too, but it doesn't always indicate performance. Often, it indicates a confident, dogmatic communication style with the ability to convince others to follow its path. Leo is an energy that looks for what it can get out of life for itself and has a tendency to dominate others. It is a very self-focused sign, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's when the energy goes too far, when there's an overemphasis of Leo energy, that it can become a bad thing. And you'll know this because it will be at the expense or detriment of its relationships. You'll get that feedback. People will likely not want to be in your energy. I'm thinking, you're fired. Trump has not only Leo rising, but his Mars in Leo. And Mars rules anyone who identifies as a divine masculine. Mars adds energy wherever it's placed, and it's rising with his ascendant. In shadow, we've all seen that propensity for arrogance and aggression and self-focused domination of others. People with strong Leo energy tend to be bombastic, opinionated, and not afraid of challenging others. This confidence and energy often unwittingly provokes others towards acts of violence and aggression, and it can make people with dominant Leo energy prone to acts of slander or defamation. Leo is symbolized by the brave lion, which is both dominant and at times indolent, possessing both pride and nobility. People with dominant Leo placements tend to come from family money or are in some way regal themselves, often seen in the charts of celebrities, especially that Leo moon. You're reminded that royalty does not step down from its throne to address its subjects. Similarly, don't allow other people's shadow projections to dim your light. It's their shadow, not yours. So don't absorb it, and don't add fuel to the fire by reacting to it. When people project this shadow onto you, what they really want is to bring you down to their level, where they're not only more comfortable with you, but where you're easier to control and manipulate. This is exactly how narcissists and energy vampires operate. Remove your energy, gray rock, don't engage, and leave it with God, whatever you deem him to be. With an imbalance of any energy, you can look to the opposite sign, its sister sign, for balance. Leo's opposite sign, or polarity, is Aquarius, and this is why so often opposites attract. We very much learn from other people, as they mirror back to us those parts of self that we need to balance. This is especially true in our closest and romantic relationships. Aquarius is the sign of ideals and humanitarian pursuits, the hopes and wishes for mankind as a whole. So the key to balancing any imbalanced Leo energy is to take those unique talents and gifts and find a way to share them with the collective in a way that benefits mankind. The glyph for Leo looks a lot like the Greek symbol for Omega and the Om symbol. Om is a sacred sound known as the sound of the universe because it's all-encompassing, the essence of ultimate reality, said to unify everything in the universe. This is why it's so frequently used in meditation. This glyph or pictograph represents the two chambers of the human heart, and Leo energy rules the human heart and heart chakra. Remember? It's all connected. Symbolically, this represents two incomplete circles, one formed by the sun and the other formed by the crescent moon, symbolizing the balance of head and heart needed to fully embrace and embody Leo energy in true power. The other parts of the body ruled by Leo, like we said, are the human heart, but also the spine and the back. And They can experience ailments to the heart, spine, and back as a response to emotional or physical exertion. So be mindful of these areas under this Leo new moon and any Leo new moon. Pay attention to your heart, your posture, and your spine health. 12 degrees in degree astrology is a Piscean degree. So let's not forget everything that's going on over in Pisces. Pisces is all about rest and the dream world. So ensure that you're prioritizing this. If we think about a lion isn't lazy, and neither is a Leo. But a lion knows exactly when it needs to rest and when it needs to go into full sprint to catch its next meal. This is all about making our creations and dreams into a reality. Envision the life that you want to lead and manifest, and then reverse engineer what it's going to take to get there and make it a reality. My ascendant is 12 degrees of its sign, and I can speak firsthand how powerful this can be for manifesting. If you dream it, you can very much achieve it, but it also takes consistent daily effort. This is why every person who's ever doubted me or even bullied me for my interest in astrology is now orbiting my social media and this channel. And if you're watching now, thank you for building the watch hours. This includes every boss, every person who's ever taken a romantic interest toward me, and every person that I inadvertently put into competition with my strong energy, self-confidence, and ambition. Forgive them. They know not what they do. Stand tall and always wear your invisible crown proudly. Do not let the weight of it falter, not even for a second. Saturn and Neptune, co-present in the late degrees of Pisces, bring a collective crisis of faith and belief to the entire collective, 2023 to 2025, until the two travel together into Aries for parts of 2025 and officially in 2026. This means that Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn will all be changing signs from 2024 to 2026, bringing some immensely turbulent times globally for the entire collective. More on that in a later video. This Leo new moon forms an inconjunct to Saturn, while Saturn is 18 degrees Pisces. 18 degrees, if you'll remember from previous videos, is one of those evil degrees in astrology. Saturn transiting 18 degrees brings health flare-ups to the collective. In the sign of Pisces, with Neptune co-present 29 degrees, this can be very much related to the things that we ingest, down to a chemical level. It can be the ingredients in the food we consume. It can be our dependencies on various substances that we use for a dopamine chase or fix. It can include pharmaceuticals, etc. I have my natal Saturn 18 degrees Capricorn, where Saturn's in rulership and strong, which has brought in my life patterns of workaholism, overworking, overgiving in the workplace at the expense of my own health, leading to health flare-ups, until I learned boundaries. So you're reminded to watch your boundaries, especially with Pluto returning to Capricorn and the South Node in Libra. I'll discuss new moon in conjunct Saturn a bit deeper in the aspect section of this video. We also have Venus, 29 degrees Leo, forming an inconjunct to Neptune, 29 degrees Pisces, and Pluto, 0 degrees Aquarius, soon to be 29 degrees Capricorn, as part of a Yod, or finger of God, very fated formation. Venus, 29 degrees Leo, forms the apex of the Yod. I'll discuss the Yod, that finger of God, and all of those aforementioned aspects a bit later on in the video. But first, I'd like to explore the Sabian symbolism associated with this new moon. The Sabian symbol for the new moon, 12 degrees, the constellation Leo. We've had over 100 new subscribers join us in just the past 7 days. So for those of you who are new, I'd like to briefly review. The Sabian symbols are archetypal energies for each of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Because they begin at 1 degree and end at 30 degrees of each sign, we round up when a planetary body is moving direct, and we round down when a planetary body is traveling retrograde. This is always the case, except in the rare event where something is happening at exactly the degree point of a sign. Since this Leo new moon is happening 12 degrees 34 arc minutes of Leo, we need to round up to 13 degrees Leo, the energy of where it's headed or converging. This is on page 163 if you are following along at home and want to read along with me. Otherwise, just sit back and relax while I read it to you. Leo, 13 degrees. An old sea captain rocking. Keyword, retrospect. Theme, historical perspective. This symbol speaks to retrospection and an ability to identify relevant turning points in life and predict the outcome of current events by reflecting on past experience or using a historical perspective. The emphasis here is on the fact that history repeats itself and events occur in cycles. The image of an old sea captain rocking alludes to maturity and the stage of life when battles and adventures take place mostly in the mind. Be mindful of ruminating. Thus, This symbol also refers to vicarious experience. At its highest, the symbol represents the ability to draw on whatever skills and resources have been developed in the past as they are needed in any present moment. On the negative, watch for crystallization or being completely out of touch with the realities of the present as a result of living too much in the past. Today, the accent is on maturity, reflection, and reconstruction. You may be surprised when looking back on some event in your life that you now see it quite differently. Opportunity. Your greatest advantage lies in drawing on your past experience to handle a present challenge. Risk. Guard against withdrawing in order to avoid dealing with change or unknowns in the present. You may lose your place among your fellows if you refuse to adapt or learn new skills. Stepping stones. Retirement. Withdrawal. Maturity. Retrospection. Nostalgia. Reflection. Remembrance. Reminiscence. Sentiment. Longing. Contemplation. Meditation. Consideration. History. The past. Contentment. And there it is again. Rest. This is an image of contemplating one's past experiences, and it's particularly relevant if we remember that 2024 is a repeat of 2020. I have a playlist about that if you're not sure what I'm talking about and would like to check it out. While new moons are always a time of new beginnings, this Leo new moon coincides with Mercury retrograde. So this also asks us to be contemplative and reflective as we make more heart-centered choices moving forward. Thank you for watching. If you're still with me, you're a real one. Drop your current most used emoji in the comments. If you took anything away from this video, we ask that you like, comment, share the content, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, we know that you'll enjoy the full playlist and this additional video. Thank you so much, love you, and see you soon.